Hello everybody, my name is Patrick Dennis with Synaptic Advisory Partners, and today I'm going to show you a quick demonstration on how we could use Youreka to essentially conduct some field audits and assessments, particularly in the oil and gas space. And in this particular use case, we're going to be going through an example of how an organization could handle some field ticketing. So what you should see here on your screen is on the left we've got our Salesforce UI, and on the right hand side we actually have my mobile device where I have the Youreka mobile app queued up and ready to go. And the process that we're going to go through is we're actually going to go out into the field. We're going to lose internet connectivity, and when we do, we're still going to be able to deliver fuel and record how many gallons and at what price point we are delivering different types of fuel. And when we're done, we're going to save that form, and it's going to be stored locally on our device so that when we get back to internet connectivity, that form will actually be passed back up to Salesforce, where it'll create an order record, which is why I have the orders tab here on the left. It'll create an order record in the system where then the other members of our business and the operations team could proceed and perhaps invoice the client or otherwise. So that's the use case that we're going to go through today. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm actually going to kill my internet connectivity. And so you'll see here on the right hand side here, we're now in offline mode, which means that my phone, or the Youreka app specifically, does not have any internet connection. And so what we'll notice is that on the right hand side, we've got some existing forms that we've already filled out on our mobile device. But in this case, I've navigated to a brand new customer site. And so I'm actually going to click that button in the bottom right hand corner, and I'll be able to create a new form for this brand new customer that I'm visiting. So you can see there's several different form templates that we have made available here, but I'm going to go ahead and choose the fuel delivery ticket right there at the top. So when I do this, immediately I'm going to be asked, do I want to reference an existing order in the system, or do I want to create a new one? I'm just going to create a new one here. So we'll say create form, and immediately I'm presented with the form that I need to fill out as a part of this process. So the first thing that I'll do is I'll actually reference the customer's name here. So we'll go ahead and look up in our system some examples, accounts in the system. So we'll say that we're visiting Smith Energy Corp, for example. And what we're doing, we're literally leveraging a lookup field right here in the system. And the way that we're able to do that is Youreka has actually primed this mobile device with the accounts that we're going to be visiting. So we're able to make those complex lookup relationships and associations even when we don't have internet connectivity. So here I'm actually just going to say that the order number is 44444, and we'll indicate that the order date is for today. And we'll quickly say that the order status is in draft. And if we wanted to, we could fill out some other custom fields that we wanted. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to proceed on here. So what we'll do now is we're actually just going to indicate which products we are responsible for delivering here. So I'm just going to click that little add button in the center. And here we actually open up a whole section where we can reference specific products in our system. The lookups work the exact same way, actually. So maybe I'm delivering, we'll call this ethanol blended premium. And I'm just going to pick some example pieces of information here. But most importantly, I'm just going to say how many gallons I delivered. So let's say that it was 350 gallons. And the unit price here was $2.49. So we'll see we're actually actively calculating the subtotal here for this line item, which can be really helpful sometimes when it comes time to communicate with the customer right there face to face as to what they can expect we're going to charge them. So I've saved that line item right there, and we've got a brief summary of the information that we just collected, like the product, the amount of gallons, what the unit price was, and then also what that total is. But I'm going to actually add one more here. So we'll say this is another product that we have in our system. So the non-blended premium, again, just filling out some sample information here. And then I'm also going to say the total gallons in this one was 550, and the unit price was $3.56. There again, we're calculating that line item total, so we don't have to do any calculations on our own. The system is going to do it for us. And actually, we're summing up all of the line items here. So we can see the total number of gallons and the order total, which is summing up those line item totals. So we're always keeping track of all the information that we've collected, and we're able to do those calculations even without internet connectivity, which is true right now. So just for the sake of time, I'm going to proceed on. We can continue with the form, collect some example comments. In this case, I'm not even going to type it. We're just going to speak into the microphone and say, this is a place where we could speak some example notes into the form, period. All right. And then any other custom fields that we want to add here. Maybe we need to do some clocking in and clocking out for certain types of jobs that we're doing. So we'll just kind of fill out the rest of this form here. And then we'll close out. And maybe we need to grab a quick signature from the person that actually delivered the fuel. So in this case, I'm going to quickly sign because I'm the driver. And I could also type in my driver number here. Now we could make this a lookup too to users inside of our Salesforce instance. So they wouldn't even have to memorize their number. They could just find their name if they wanted to. But in this case, I just have them typing their driver number. And then maybe we just quickly indicate who the person was that we were seeing here. So this is Dan Smith is the name of the customer that we're standing in front of. We'll quickly indicate Dan's phone number, 555-555. And then finally, Dan will sign, he's the customer signature here, just to say that he actually received the product and he recognizes the amount that we have just very briefly quoted him above from all those line items that were calculated for us. So Dan will quickly sign, and then we're done, and we can actually leave. So we'll actually click Save here. Before I do that, we do have the option to generate a PDF right here on site, but we'll do that in the system later. So I'm just going to click Submit. Now what we'll remember is we don't have internet connectivity right now, so all the information that we've stored in that form is actually still just on our mobile device. But when it comes time, if we can make it back to internet connectivity, which is what I'll do right now, the second that Youreka understands that we've made connection with that internet connectivity, it'll suggest that it's time for us to resync the app. So we'll click OK. And it's going to think here for a second. It's just going to pass that form and all the related information back up into Salesforce pretty seamlessly. And we could be doing this for multiple different forms. So we might have been out all day filling out many different forms, all of them without internet connectivity. And now this is the time when Youreka is going to pass all of that data back up to Salesforce all at once. And at that point, we could send email alerts. We could fire off system automation. We are updating reports and dashboards. All this is going to happen at once. So what we'll notice here is Youreka is done thinking there, and we've resynced with Salesforce. So if I draw your attention back over to the left-hand side here, what we'll see is if we can refresh this, we'll see our newest order has actually come in, Smith Energy Corp. There's our order total and the quantity of gallons that we delivered. We can hop in here and see all the different pieces of information, that order number that we typed in, and again, all the different line items that were filled out for us while we were out there, including the different products that are in our system. If we want to see the entire form in its entirety, what we can do is actually just view the form record itself here inside of Salesforce. And this is actually just going to pull up all those pieces of information so we can see everything that we filled out. So we've got our order that's been created. We've got our form record that's been added to the system. We've updated automation, or we've fired off automation. We've updated reports and dashboards. So an example of the reporting that we can do here is maybe we want to be rolling up all those order summaries into one simple dashboard for our team. So we'll quickly refresh here, and we're immediately able to see all the different gallons that were delivered by product line. We can see all the orders that we've handled by account. So all this information, because we're Salesforce native, is entirely reportable here in the system. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea as to how Youreka could support this type of use case. Again, we were able to take our mobile device out in the field, create a new form without internet connectivity, collect a bunch of information, populate fields inside that form, and then when we were able to find that internet connectivity, we passed it back up into Salesforce, and the rest of our business process can go from there without skipping a beat. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to visit us at youreka.io or give us a call, and we're happy to talk to you more. Thanks.